Everyone is talking about Eden Hazard, but I think the card that might actually surprise everyone from this Chelsea pack is bullet header Diego Costa. And I'm not even joking. This is one of those strikers that looks decent at first. Then you look at the stats again. Then you realize Konami might have created an absolute monster. The real question is simple. Is Diego Costa actually good enough to compete with the top epic strikers in eFootball 2027? Or is this just another nostalgia card that people are overhyping? Because after looking at these stats properly, I think there's a serious conversation to be had. The first thing that jumps out is the combination of phenomenal finishing and bullet header. That is already a dangerous combination before we even look at the numbers. Phenomenal finishing makes difficult shots much more reliable, while bullet header turns crosses into genuine scoring opportunities. And that immediately tells you what this card is built for. Diego Costa is not trying to be Neymar. He is not trying to be Messi. He is trying to destroy center backs, attack crosses, and score goals from almost any position inside the box. Now let's talk about him as a bullet header striker first, because I think this is where a lot of people are getting excited. Normally, when we think of bullet header cards, we think of players like Cristiano Ronaldo, Haaland, Collar, or some of the stronger epic target men. Diego Costa isn't as tall as someone like Collar, but 186 centimeters is still a very good height for a striker, and when you combine that with 97 physical contact, 85 jumping and bullet header, he becomes incredibly difficult to deal with in aerial situations. The 97 physical contact is honestly ridiculous. That means he should be able to hold off defenders, create separation in the box, and attack crosses with real power. I actually think this is one of the most underrated parts of the card. A lot of strikers can jump well, but if they get bullied before the cross arrives, it doesn't matter. Costa has the strength to fight for position first, and then use bullet header once the ball comes in. So, is he the best bullet header striker in the game? Probably not. Cards like Kohler and some of the top Ronaldo versions still have the edge because of their height and aerial dominance. But I genuinely think Costa belongs in that next tier of elite aerial strikers. If you enjoy crossing the ball, especially with players who have edged crossing or excellent lofted passing, Diego Costa is going to score a lot of headers. Now let's look at him as a center forward overall, and this is actually where I think he becomes even more impressive. 97 offensive awareness is elite. That is one of the most important striker stats in eFootball, because it determines how intelligently the player moves inside the box. Costa should constantly be making dangerous runs and finding space between defenders. Then you have 95 finishing, which is already top tier on its own, and when you combine it with phenomenal finishing, this card should be incredibly clinical. Difficult angles, first-time shots, awkward rebounds. Costa should convert chances that a lot of other strikers would miss. What surprised me is the pace. I expected a slower traditional target man, but 89 speed and 93 acceleration is actually very good. He is fast enough to run in behind defenders while still being strong enough to hold them off physically. That combination is what makes this card dangerous. He isn't just a cross-spamming striker, he can also attack through balls and quick counterattacks. The dribbling is the one area that is clearly weaker. 85 ball control, 82 dribbling, and 83 tight possession are decent, but they're not elite. This is not the striker you use to beat 3 defenders with skill moves. If you want a technical striker who can create chances for himself constantly, Aguero, Cruyff, or some of the top Mbappe cards are still better. Costa is much more of a direct, aggressive striker. I actually think the best comparison is Batistuta. Both are powerful center forwards who rely on finishing, physicality, and movement inside the box. Batistuta still has the edge in long-range shooting and overall shot power, but Costa feels more explosive because of the 93 acceleration and 97 physical contact. So where does he rank among epic strikers? For me, Diego Costa is comfortably an A-tier epic center forward. He is not replacing the absolute top monsters like big-time Ronaldo, Showtime Mbappe, Cruyff are the very best endgame strikers, but he is definitely good enough to start for a lot of players, and if your playstyle involves crosses, physical duels, quick counters, or playing with 2 strikers, I can genuinely see Costa becoming one of the most effective strikers in the game. The funniest part is that I think a lot of people open this Chelsea pack hoping for Hazard, and they might accidentally end up with a striker that completely changes their team. Hazard is obviously the flashier card, but Costa is the type of player that wins matches. He scores ugly goals, rebounds, headers, first-time finishes, and the kind of goals that make your opponent want to throw their phone.